welcome to Live Interactive English. I'm Mike.
And I'm Kiki.
And today we are back with day 2 of our look at Camila Cabello. I said that right?
Yeah.
Camila Cabello, and it's called Havana's Heartbeat, which is a good title because, of course, as we know from yesterday's article, right at the very end, Camila Cabello, born in Cuba, raised in Mexico and Cuba, settled in America, but most importantly, a member of the super successful girl group Fifth Harmony. So there was One Direction and Fifth Harmony. I like these numbers. She went solo, and when she went solo, way back in the year 2018, if you can remember that far back, she had a big hit song called Havana that was, I think, not without exaggerating, an international pop smash hit.
Yeah.
Right, #1 in many, many places. And that launched her big solo career, and she's kind of been doing that and doing well since then.
Yeah, I'm sure even if you didn't know who she was, you definitely knew the song.
Listen to it. Get it on somewhere, put it on. About 30 seconds later, you'll be like, ah, yeah, I know this.
I mean, it was on the radio.
It was.
It
Taxis,
was everywhere.
Convenience stores, restaurants, everywhere you went, you heard this song.
So she became very successful even when she became a solo artist.
That's absolutely right. So today we're going to be learning what happened since then. So we're going to be going back to just after her big hit, 2018, 2019, and get you all caught up with her career since then. And it's going to be very interesting. And if you're a fan, I'm sure you will love to learn some of these details. And if not, maybe it'll inspire you to get a little Camila Cabello in your listening life. Let's check it out. After her first album, Camila released Romance in 2019. She followed that up with Familia in 2022, a Latin-inspired album that displayed her Cuban and Mexican cultural roots. More recently, she surprised fans by changing direction with her album CXOXO. This album was strongly influenced by hip-hop and dance and showed off Camila's musical growth. Camila touches the hearts of her fans not only through her music, but also through her openness on social media. At the height of her success, she shared her personal struggles with anxiety and obsessive-compulsive disorder, OCD.
Today we are talking about part 2 of our article, Camila Cabello, Havana's Heartbeat.
And that's right. Havana was, of course, that big hit song that she had back in 2018. So what happened after that? Well, in the article, it says after her first album, that would be the one with Havana on it. So after her first album, remember this is her first solo album without her friends in Fifth Harmony, just on her own. So after her first album, Camila released Romance in 2019. And then she followed that up with Familia in 2022, so quite recently, a Latin-inspired album that displayed her Cuban and Mexican cultural roots. In 2022, she did Familia, which of course means family in Spanish, and this displayed her interest and her passion for this music, the music of her childhood, the music of her family, her parents, her grandparents, her ancestors, her Spanish roots, her Spanish-American roots. To display something is to show something off. Now, it can be something physical, like when you go to a nice grocery store, they might display all the fruit in a colorful way. Oh, look, the apples are so nice, and the oranges and the bananas, and everything's so colored, and it's all laid out there for you to go and pick and buy and choose. But it can also be in a performance, when you do a performance, when you do a show, when you're an athlete out there on the court or on the playing field and you're trying to play your best. You're showing off, you're displaying your skills and your talents, okay? So it's not just things we look at, it's things we see and things we do in order to make them look the best for the people watching, all right? So that's what we're kind of doing. And yeah, if you have a talent for art or sports, get out there and do it. Display that talent to the world, and I'm sure you will impress people and get lots of fans. For example, Samuel's paintings display his great talent. He kind of shows the talent. It is there in the paintings for everyone to see because they're so good.
Okay, so we saw that her first two albums, it was more pop music.
Yes.
And then she was able to show people, display her Latin heritage.
Right?
But she did something different again.
Oh, wow. Heavy metal? Jazz?
No.
Funk?
No.
Mando pop?
No.
K-pop? Camila Cabello goes K-pop, no?
No.
That's not it. All right.
More recently,
Yes.
she surprised fans by changing direction with her album CXOXO.
CXOXO. That's the title of the album.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Sounds like she's signing off a letter or something.
Oh, that's her Camila and then the kiss, hug, kiss, hug. That's what the XO represents, a kiss and a hug. Oh, that's nice.
So what was this album about?
I have no idea.
This album was strongly influenced by hip-hop and dance and showed off Camila's musical growth.
Okay, well, I mean, that kind of all makes sense, right? She's
Trying something different.
Yeah, and she started with pop music. I'm sure she listened to that. Then the Latin-inspired album, music from her family and her culture. And like any kid today, she was also probably listening to hip-hop, dance music, things like that. So yeah, why not try that out? There's so many good styles of music out there. It would be hard to stick to only one. All right, let's go over to Hanny and hear what she has to say. Then we'll be back.
Hello， 大家好，我是 Hanny， 今天要继续介绍 Camila Cabello。在推出首张专辑后，她在2019年发行了第二张专辑 Romance， 然后在2022年推出了第三张专辑 Familia。那这是一张受拉丁音乐启发的专辑，展现了她的古巴跟墨西哥文化根源。好，单字 display 是动词，表示展示、展现。Mike 老师在解释单字时有用到片语 lay out， 它可以指陈列、铺设或者是摆放的意思。Kiki 老师刚刚谈到了卡蜜拉的拉丁血统，那老师有用到 heritage 这个字 ，H-E-R-I-T-A-G-E 这个名词可以指种族、宗教背景，或者是表达具有历史文化意义的遗产、传统或继承物。这边还有一个重点是 follow up something 或者是 follow up。这表示跟着继续做，用来表达接着从事某个与先前有关的行动，或者是呢进行另一件后续的事情。之后常常会接 with 或 by 加名词来说明接续的动作。好，那么 follow up 它可以做及物或不及物用。如果要有受词的话，你也可以把它摆在 up 的前面，变成 follow something up。好，举例来说 ，Her debut album was a big success, and she followed up with another hit album. 她的首张专辑大获成功，之后又推出了另一张畅销专辑。有一个延伸学习是 follow up something 还可以表达追查，对什么采取进一步行动。那美语当中常常会用 follow up on something 去表示。例如 The detective has been following up on the case for quite a while. 那名侦探已经追踪这个案子有好一段时间了。好，这句话课文中。
Okay, we are back. So, CXOXO. Don't get that confused with Charlie XCX. There's a lot of X's and C's and things going on, but I'm sure fans are able to figure this stuff out. It says, Camila touches the hearts of her fans, not only through her music, but also through her openness on social media. Okay, so of course, yeah, people listen to her music. She sings love songs. She sings songs about being happy or going through troubles in life. That's what people have expected and gotten and enjoyed from music for a very long time. But in the modern world, you can also connect with your fans on social media, maybe on TikTok or Instagram or places like that. She posts things if she's doing well, if she's excited about a new thing, if she's going somewhere, or also maybe when she's not doing so well and she needs a bit of a hug or a little bit of help, because of course, even for talented, successful, beautiful people like Camila Cabello or anyone, we all go through tough times. It's true.
At the height of her success, she shared her personal struggles with anxiety and obsessive compulsive disorder, or OCD.
Interesting.
Okay, so the article talked about her being very open on social media. She shared with her fans about all the things that she's going through, the struggles that she was going through, and probably still is going through. It's a never-ending challenge and battle, right? So struggle is when you have trouble with something and you're trying very hard to get out of it. Sometimes it could be a physical struggle or in this case, a mental struggle, right? Okay. So usually when we think of struggle, you're tied up in something and you're trying very hard to get out of something. And usually a struggle is something very tough, a tough situation to get out of, okay? So in this case, she is struggling with her mental health, right? And we also have a sentence here. Many people have struggles with stress in their daily life. And this is something people of all ages can experience, different stress in their life. And how do we get out of it?
Yeah, it can be a struggle. We can also use that as a verb to struggle with a problem. Or maybe you're trying to take your jacket off when you're struggling to get your arm out or something like that. It's just a challenge. It's something difficult that you kind of have to deal with. And you're right, everyone goes through different struggles. And if you can talk about them and share them or just get someone's support or advice, that can make your struggles not seem so bad. You know who helps me with my struggles sometimes?
Me.
Hanny. And you too, but I was kind of going over to Hanny.
She helps me too.
Great.
课文提到，卡蜜拉不仅透过音乐，也透过她在社群媒体上的坦诚，触动了粉丝的心。在她事业巅峰时期，她有分享自己与焦虑症和强迫症搏斗的经历。文中用 at the height of 加名词，就表示在什么巅峰全盛期。struggle 当名词，则表示搏斗、努力奋斗。那刚刚说，不仅透过什么，也透过什么什么，我们这边就要来介绍一个重点是 not only but also 这表示不仅什么而且什么。Not only but also 这是需要连接词性相同的字词，如果连接动词时态要相同。我们这边造两个例句。The artist is not only talented but also creative. 那位艺术家不但有才华，而且又有创意。He not only paints but also writes poems. 他不但会画画，还会写诗。好，这话课文中。
All right, we are back. So that's the first part of the article. We've learned about how Camila Cabello has followed up her albums with more great albums. Now she's in her kind of hip-hop phase, which is very interesting. And also, she is sharing some of her struggles on social media. We'll learn more about that part of her life in the second part of the article. So let's read it now. She has spoken about how therapy and medication have helped her manage her conditions. By opening up to her fans, Camila has helped break negative opinions around mental health and encouraged others to seek support. From June to September 2025, Camila is hitting the road for a tour in support of her new album, which includes a show in Kaohsiung on August 14th. Through her music and honesty, Camila Cabello remains a powerful voice in the world of pop and beyond. Okay, so Camila Cabello is on social media. That's not surprising. Everyone's on social media. But she's also been sharing some of her personal struggles, the tough times that she goes through. If you're famous and everyone is watching what you do and commenting on it, the anxiety, the nervousness, the stress can get quite strong, quite powerful. And also she talked about obsessive compulsive disorder, OCD. Now, this is kind of a complicated psychological thing, but people with OCD, they often have to kind of manage or organize their life in a very, very powerful way, in a very complicated or extreme way. And it says she has spoken about how therapy and medication have helped her manage her conditions. So that's a good thing. She might have these problems, but she's gotten some help. Therapy, you can take medicine that can help calm your brain down so that you don't get into these stressful times in your life. And you have to learn how to manage this condition. When we say condition in this way, talking about your health, talking about getting therapy or treatment, seeing doctors, we're kind of talking about some medical problem that you kind of have to live with, okay? Breaking your leg isn't really a condition. You break your leg, you get it fixed, in 6 weeks you should be okay. But if you have to live with something, if your skin is always sort of dry and itchy, if you have a problem with your heart, but it's not going to kill you, but you need to take medicine, you need to be careful about what you eat and what you do. This is the kind of thing we're talking about with a condition. It's something that can be with you for years or your whole life, but with some help, with some treatment, seeing doctors, taking medicine, doing all that, you can keep it under control, so hopefully you can have a relatively normal life living with this condition. For example, Charlie's skin condition has slowly gotten better. A lot of teenagers, they might have a skin condition with acne, right? Oily skin. As you get older, it goes away. You might take medicine or use creams, but that's the kind of thing we're talking about.
That's right. Okay, so we know that it's quite important to talk about mental health.
Yeah.
So it was a good thing and it surprised a lot of fans that Camila is so open about this.
Okay, yeah, because sometimes people be embarrassed or, don't want people to think I'm crazy or something like that. So It's good that she's doing this.
That's right. By opening up to her fans, Camila has helped break negative opinions around mental health and encouraged others to seek support.
Okay.
So this was very helpful, not only for herself to share with people what's going on with her, it's kind of a release for her. At the same time, she's helping others. Others, they'll see something that she wrote and they might think, I feel that way too. Maybe I need to go get some help.
Yeah.
Maybe I need to check on my own mental health.
That's true. I feel that too. I'm embarrassed to talk about it. Here she's telling the whole world, maybe I don't need to be so embarrassed because here's this successful person, but they have some of the same problems I have.
That's right. So we have the adjective mental, and it basically has something to do with the mind. So it's not a physical thing. It's something that we can't see. It's to do with our brain. So nowadays we talk a lot about mental health, staying happy, stress-free, or even when you do have mental health issues, how do you deal with them? By talking to someone and even learning more about your own brain.
Sure, there's lots of things you can do.
All right, so an example sentence, we all need to take care of our mental health. All right, let's go to Henny.
刚刚说卡蜜拉在事业巅峰时分享了自己与焦虑症和强迫症搏斗的经历。她谈到心理治疗和药物如何帮助她控制病情。那通过向歌迷敞开心扉，卡蜜拉就帮忙打破了对心理健康的负面看法。那也鼓励其他人来寻求支持。文中用到 open up， 就是表达敞开心门，之后可以接 to somebody。再看到单字 condition， 它是名词，表示疾病、状况或状态。单字例句提到 skin condition， 就是皮肤状况、肤况。那 Mike 老师这时候有提到 acne 这个字 ，acne 这个名词表示痤疮或是青春痘。下一个单字 mental 是形容精神上的、心理上的或者是心智的。这回课文中。
All right, we are back. So, Camila Cabello is out there. She's making music. She's being very open and honest on social media, and she's probably helping not only herself, but inspiring many of her fans and other people to get the help that they need as well, and not be shy or embarrassed of these mental health problems. Everyone has them. Talking about them and getting help is the way to go. And apparently, she's doing pretty good because she's out there on the road performing and stuff. And that is really exciting for us. And it says from June to September 2025, Camila is hitting the road for a tour in support of her new album. So new tour and new music, a new album. And then it says, which includes a show in Kaohsiung on August 14th.
Through her music and honesty, Camila Cabello remains a powerful voice in the world of pop and beyond.
And people do appreciate her honesty, clearly, because that is what she has given them. A lot of honesty, a lot of truth. She doesn't lie, she doesn't leave things out, she's very open. She tells you what she's thinking, she tells you what she's feeling, and she doesn't hide or lie or, as I said, kind of avoid the truth. She is very open, very honest, so we can use that as the adjective. He or she are honest. These are honest people. They always tell the truth. That truth, not lying, that telling the truth is honesty. For example, he gained my trust because of his honesty, because he always told the truth.
And here we also have the word remain, the verb remain, which means to stay a certain way or to keep something from changing. We have the sentence, we remain good friends even after years apart. So even after years of not seeing each other, they're still friends.
Oh, that's very, very nice. All right, let's go over to Hanny, and then we'll be back with our What Do You Think question.
课文最后提到，卡蜜拉从2025年6月到9月展开巡回演出，宣传她的新专辑。那卡蜜拉透过她的音乐跟真诚，正持续发挥她的影响力。文中用到 hit the road， 并不是要走马路，它是指那种上路出发、开始旅程的那种意思。在这边是指开始巡演，而单字 honesty。名词它表示诚实、坦诚 ，remain 是动词，可以表达仍然是或者是保持、继续、留下。注意 ，remain 在课文里面是当连缀动词，它后面可以接名词或形容词。好，那这句话课文中。
So we have that what do you think question. What are we going to be talking about today?
Okay, let's see. Do you think famous people should speak about important topics like mental health?
Good question. Well, I mean, everyone's different, right? So everyone handles their problems in a different way. But generally, I would say yes, I think it is important because unlike physical health, which people aren't really shy or embarrassed, you know, if someone's got cancer, if they're dealing with a problem, they're often quite open and honest about that. But often with mental health, you know, we use this word stigma. There's a bad thing about it. If you say, oh, I'm depressed or I'm stressed or I have OCD like Camila Cabello did. People might say, oh, you're crazy, you're cuckoo, you're nuts, you're, you know, that kind of thing. And I think, of course, everyone, they're not like that. Everyone has problems with their body, with their mind, and with help and with treatment and support, you can get better and move to a better place. So I think it is good because it takes away that fear, it takes away that sort of feeling that there's something wrong with me. There's nothing wrong with you. It's just a condition or a problem that you have to deal with.
Well, I believe that famous people, it could be important for them to talk about mental health, but I also think they're not mental health professionals.
That's true.
Therefore, they shouldn't really get into too much detail if they don't really know about it.
That's a really good point. And of course, they're often rich and famous, so the treatment that they can get may not be available to most people, right? Most people have to work, they don't have all the extra money to pay for the best doctors. But I think just opening the conversation is generally a good thing. What about you guys? Have a chat about that and maybe enjoy yourselves some Camila Cabello music. And we'll see you back here with more great articles next time. Bye-bye. After her first album, Camila released Romance in 2019. She followed that up with Familia in 2022, a Latin-inspired album that displayed her Cuban and Mexican cultural roots. More recently, she surprised fans by changing direction with her album CXOXO. This album was strongly influenced by hip-hop and dance and showed off Camila's musical growth. Camila touches the hearts of her fans not only through her music, but also through her openness on social media. At the height of her success, she shared her personal struggles with anxiety and obsessive-compulsive disorder, OCD. She has spoken about how therapy and medication have helped her manage her conditions. By opening up to her fans, Camila has helped break negative opinions around mental health and encouraged others to seek support. From June to September 2025, Camila is hitting the road for a tour in support of her new album, which includes a show in Kaohsiung on August 14th. Through her music and honesty, Camila Cabello remains a powerful voice in the world of pop and beyond.
最后，我们来复习今天课文里的单字文法。单字的部分有 display 动词表示展示、展现 ；struggle 当名词可以指搏斗、努力奋斗 ；condition 在这边当名词表示疾病或者是状况、状态 ；mental 是形容精神上的、心理上的或者是心智的。再来看到 honesty 是名词表示诚实、坦诚。Remain 动词可以表达仍然是、保持、继续，或者是有留下的意思。文法部分，我们第一个学到 follow up 或者是 follow up something 表示跟着继续做，之后常常会接 with 或 by 加名词来说明接续的动作。第二个学到 not only but also 表示不仅怎么样，而且怎么样。Not only but also 需要连接词性相同的字词，那如果连接动词，时态要相同哦。好，那么以上今天的讲解，同学别走开，马上回来哦。
Taiwan is well known for its exciting night markets, and today's location is a night market full of great food and things to do. It is known as the Xingnan Night Market. Let's see what this bustling place has to offer. Xingnan Night Market is in Zhonghe, New Taipei City. It covers the area between Xingyi and Jingxing Street. It is very close to Nansijiao MRT station. The night market is filled with shopping choices, including shops with clothes, shoes, and electronics. Visitors can find cheap Japanese food and popular favorites too, like spicy duck blood soup and stinky tofu. Tofu pudding and pearl milk tea are great choices on a hot day. Traditional Taiwanese snack lovers must visit Xingnan Night Market. Stinky tofu is a traditional fermented tofu dish well loved by Taiwanese locals. But the smell can sometimes be a turnoff for visitors. I myself love stinky tofu. The stinkier, the better. Well, what are you waiting for? Let's go to Xingnan Night Market and get some together.